NFL draft is coming up. Now, the best part about the NFL draft now, not only do you get to watch it and see where your favorite players go, you get to bet on it. So you get to trade on it too on Kalshi. You got to use the proper terminology. So you can trade on Kalshi. You can bet it on FanDuel. We got promo codes for every single sportsbook trading platform out there. So make sure you go down, link in the description below, WSN.com, and check them all out. But Grant, we have the NFL draft coming up. We are going to be betting on it. So looking at some of the notable markets on Kalshi that you have pulled up, what are you checking out?
Well, I just want to say, before we look at any of this, nobody seems to have a damn clue what is going on. There's going to be maybe one national reporter who comes out of this with a boost in credibility, and it will be a huge boost. And the rest of them are just going to, you're going to look at them and say, whatever, I'm not even going to listen to you anymore. Yeah. Because the amount of narrative flip-flops and story changes over the last 48 to 72 hours leading up to draft day have just been ridiculous. Jeremiyah Love was a lock to go to the Titans at 4. And now he might go 3 to the Cardinals, who have a horrible team. And the last thing they need is a running back. And it's been Sonny Styles this entire time for the Titans. The Giants getting picks 5 and 10. They were going to get Jordyn Tyson at 10. Now it's going to be Jordyn Tyson at 5. We'll look at what all the odds are saying, but there has just been so much change. I think this is one of the most exhausting pre-draft weeks that we have had in recent drafts as far as I can remember.
Well, I will also say too that when you look at this situation right now, this has been the least talked about draft too in a while. We are not, as far as the media goes, we're not spending as much time on this draft as we have in past drafts. And I think a big reason for that is the quarterbacks. I think when there's more quarterbacks, we talk about them more. It's a lot of defensive players going up front. Jeremiyah Love is getting the majority of the attention right now, and he's a running back. And I will say that top 10 running backs usually have great careers. But if Jeremiyah Love goes number 3 overall to the Arizona Cardinals, that would be the dumbest move in franchise history.
He would get the most guaranteed money of any running back in NFL history if he went 3rd overall.
I know. It's crazy, too. I was thinking about just another thing that popped into my head. Ty Simpson, that storyline came up this week about him going to Miami. He really questioned going back to Miami for $6.5 million. Ty Simpson would have to go 7th overall to make $6.5 million next season. And if he goes late in the first round, his full contract value, I think at the last pick of the first round, the entire contract value is $12 million.
He either just had his heart set on going to the NFL and was too blinded by that, or he got bad advice. $6.5 million to go to Miami and play another year and develop. I've looked at the numbers for quarterbacks who get drafted early on after only playing 1 year of college football. He played more, but only got to start for 1 year. The bust rate is super high. Those guys basically never work out. So he's taken an enormous gamble to make less money and affect his long-term outlook. There's a chance that he becomes the next Sam Darnold or Daniel Jones, where this guy bounces around for a while and then he figures it out. But that's a tough road to follow, and it's not very fun. I don't think Sam Darnold would say he had fun playing scout team defensive end for the Panthers.
No, and for Ty Simpson, realistically, 33rd overall, first pick of the second round to the New York Jets makes a lot of sense. That's $12.9 million in contract value. So you could have got $6.5 million in 1 year, and it's 12.9 with average annual value of 3.2 over the
and then presumably I think he would have played well at Miami if he went there, and he probably would have gotten drafted higher. He probably would have been a top 10 pick if he went to Miami.
Wait, so I'm trying to, he definitely would have been, but I'm looking at the signing bonuses. So the contract value is $54 million. That does not include the signing bonus, or it does?
13. I think it does include the signing bonus.
Yeah. Okay. So the average, so the signing bonus is most of the money, and then your yearly value obviously is lower. The average annuals. Gotcha. Yep. Okay, cool. Yeah. So just some bad decisions. I feel like if you told me I could play college football for $6.5 million, I'd stay. How long can I stay here?
Oh, I was listening. Who was I listening to? There was somebody. I think it was Riley Leonard. It was Riley Leonard who said I was definitely making more money in college than I am in the NFL.
Well, he's a scrub in the NFL too. He's making the minimum.
He is a backup, but it's still it follows the same scale of if you're better, you're gonna get drafted earlier, but you're also gonna make more in college. So
Riley probably made a couple million for college ball, considering he couldn't throw. I'd say 2 million, and now he's making 800 grand a year. Still good. I mean, he should just keep his mouth shut and just be a backup quarterback. Like,
let's talk about the draft. Let's take a look at these markets from Kalshi. The number 2 overall pick, there was a lot of smoke that David Bailey could go there. He worked his way up to a 50-50 at one point. About 70% for Arvell Reese now. Fittingly, at number 3, you then do have David Bailey. It's long been thought that whoever doesn't get picked at 2 then goes 3. So you do have David Bailey there. However, the Jeremiyah Love, Adam Schefter. Adam Schefter was really I know this because of the Commander stuff behind me. He was the only national guy who was like holding the line, saying Jeremiyah Love will be in play for the Commanders at 7. He'd been saying that for like a month when everybody said he was going before then. Now he's basically given up. He's like, it looks like he's going 3 or 4. I can't understand why. When you're the Cardinals, you need an offensive line, you need receivers, you need defensive ends, you need safeties, you need corners, you need linebackers, you need everything. You do need a running back, but you signed Algier, and just what a running back does not save your franchise. So you've got him there, and then you've also got Francis Malinois at a 10% chance, which I think is a pick they could look at. It gets really interesting at pick number 4. Again, Jeremiyah Love has been the favorite here for over a month, probably like close to 2 months now. But yesterday, Todd McShay and Rich Eisen both said everybody is telling them the Titans do not want Styles. They said that they want Styles and Love would not be the pick. So that really throws a wrench into things because everybody thought Styles was going 5 to the Giants. But during that same segment, they said the Giants don't even want him. So I guess the big question to figure out here is everybody just lying and this is all smoke? Or do you think in the days leading up to the draft, people have actually found the real information?
Well, that's the hard part with the insiders. They're trying to, teams are trying to throw other teams off by putting out false information. I have to imagine that if the Titans were very high on a running back, they would take Jeremiyah Love at 4 if he's available. If the Arizona Cardinals take a running back and not an offensive lineman, I will be shocked. And that's why right now, and again, this is a little concerning to me, the draft odds. When you look at Francis's odds for the number 3 overall pick, they're plus 750. You go David Bailey plus 120, Jeremiyah Love plus 250, Arvell Reese plus 290, and then him at plus 750. So that's a little concerning and shows me they might not take a tackle and anything's available. But for plus 750 right now, knowing the smart move is to take an offensive lineman, that could be really good. And I still think Jeremiyah Love still minus 135 to go 4th overall, and that would be the Tennessee Titans there. So I don't think the Titans invest in defense. I think they invest in offense. And, Jeremiyah Love, I think, is a good fit there. I'd rather have somebody else probably, but I do think Jeremiyah Love's a good fit to go with Cam Ward and build the excitement in the backfield.
Yeah, I get the logic of helping your young quarterback with a playmaker. Supposedly, this is the line of thinking there. Saleh knows a lack of offense is what got him fired before. And Dable's obviously the offensive coordinator, so of course he's going to want an offensive guy. But Saleh is a defensive guy at the end of the day, and positional value has been talked down in this draft just because the best players are at non-premium positions. But even still, you think you have more longevity, more of a shelf life with a linebacker than you do a running back. So you got to question how that plays into it all. That takes us to the 5th pick with the Giants. And again, they are also picking 10th now. So you got to think about, well, how does that change things? Sonny Styles been the favorite here for a while. But again, McShay and Eisen were saying they actually do not want Sonny Styles. He will not be their pick. Caleb Downs has been making a charge. Jordyn Tyson, after his workout at Arizona State, he's been making a charge. He's got a 21% chance at Kalshi. That is second behind Styles. So I feel like the big dominoes in this draft for me are, what do the Cardinals do at 3? Because they could do anything. And then what was the reporting true? Do the Giants actually want Styles, or was that the smokescreen, and where do they go? Those are the 2 dominoes that kind of set the course for the first round.
The Giants, especially too, after, what they did defensively, they had a solid defense. They've lost guys. You kind of got to solidify the defense a little bit. I think that's the best place to start. You got Jackson Dart, the excitement on offense. You can live with Jackson Dart on offense right now. I think defensively, that's the biggest key for them, helping them get on track, is just if you got a lockdown defense, it takes a lot of pressure off your quarterback too.
I also wonder what sort of effect that Kyle Hamilton has on Harbaugh. Not that Downs and Hamilton are the same players because they're different, but I think Downs will be an elite NFL safety. So while people might say taking a safety fifth is crazy, why would you do that? Harbaugh might know the importance of having a guy in that position.
Yeah, I mean, there's only a few ways these teams can go. Like I think when you look at the spot for the fifth overall position, it's gonna be Sonny Styles. It could be Jordyn Tyson. It could be Caleb Downs. But I'm thinking between Sonny Styles and Jordyn Tyson. And man, I don't know. I feel like Sonny Styles is a freak. I feel like you got to go with Sonny Styles there. But a safety is very important too. So I think for the odds, at least, like I wouldn't mind going plus 300 on Jordyn Tyson, but I love Sonny Styles at this pick.
Carnell Tate, the favorite to go to the Browns. He's got a 23% chance at Kalshi. I mean, the Browns could go receiver. They could go offensive line, go with a Fano or a Malinoa. They could trade back because the Chiefs and the Cowboys want to trade up. We start getting to this point in the draft, and they're one of the teams where you really cannot predict what they're going to do because so much is dependent on the things that happened before them.
Yeah, I would agree with that too. And I think for the Browns, the biggest thing, the Browns have talked about quarterbacks too, and I feel like that's kind of faded a little bit. But like the Browns have talked about Ty Simpson, and what would be more Brown-esque than taking Ty Simpson?
Nothing. And you can never discount stupid teams' ability to do stupid things.
What's Ty Simpson's odds that you have? Do you have anything on him?
For him at 6?
Anything. Just Ty Simpson.
I can find like his odds to go in the first round.
The Browns at 6, I think they're going to go with, first round odds there. But the Browns at 6, I think, do go with Carnell Tate there.
I do have team to draft Ty Simpson. The Cardinals are at 45%. Then it's the Jets at 19, the Steelers at 10, the Rams at 9, the Browns at 8.
Gotcha. So the Browns probably are done there. If you like Carnell Tate, though, to go to the Browns, I would say that, his draft position right now, I think 7.5.
7.5, last I checked. Yep.
I got to find where the juice is on that. So it's 7.5 over under right now at -125, the over of 7.5. So, because again, I guess if he doesn't go to the Browns with that pick, you lost the bet pretty much.
Well, he's the top receiver on the Commanders board from everything that I can personally gather. But it also seems that if Jeremiyah Love or Sonny Styles are on the board, the Commanders will take them.
Yeah. Okay. So, but most likely Jeremiyah Love is going to be off the board because I picture he does go to the Tennessee Titans. Mm-hmm. I would say that Sonny Styles is probably going. Like you need a lot. You need David Bailey to go to the Titans, basically. And then you need Tyson to go to the Giants. And then you could go, the Washington Commanders would take potentially Carnell Tate if the Browns passed on him at that point.
Yep. The 8th pick, Jordyn Tyson, is the new favorite here for the Saints. I think either one of Tate or Tyson, who are the two top favorites, 25 and 22% at Kalshi, I feel like they make the most sense. And then you get to Delane and Bain. All of those players make sense for them. I'll be honest. It's kind of the same thing of who's actually on the board when they make their pick. The 9th pick, the Chiefs, is where nobody has a clue. Delane at 17%, Bain at 16%, Fano at 13%, Malinoa and Tyson at 10%. They're all so bunched together, and the rumors of them wanting to trade up are definitely affecting this as well.
I would go with Ruben Bain here. I really would. I think this is the spot where you got to go with a defensive lineman because you got to solidify what you got. And, Chris Jones ain't going to be around much longer in the end of the day. Like that's the biggest thing. I know he's an interior presence and, Ruben Bain's going to play the edge, but still you got him there. Karlaftis, obviously you love what he's been able to do if you're able to retain him, but there's no guarantees there. What's his contract?
He's probably coming up on the end of it.
He's coming up on the rookie deal, right? So I think you got to go with a defensive lineman here just to solidify your front.
Oh, wait, he signed an extension. We're both idiots.
When did he sign the extension?
He's there through 2030.
Okay, so he just signed it. So anyway,
idiots.
we are both idiots there. But like Karlaftis, that's a guy who, like, if you have him and you have Ruben Bain, now you got a presence, especially with Chris Jones. How many years Chris Jones got in his contract? 3, 2?
I don't know. He's getting up there though.
He's getting up there. You need a defensive lineman. Go with Ruben Bain.
And then the 10th pick, the Giants obviously making their second pick. It's interesting because you have the exact same odds for both Caleb Downs and Jordyn Tyson, yet they might take one of them at 5 and the other one at 10, but they have equal odds to go at 10. So you kind of just got to read the board, and I guess you have to try to figure out, okay, who do we pass on that we feel has a better chance of making it to 10?
I think because of just production, health is really the biggest thing. I lean Caleb Downs more than anything over Jordyn Tyson if they're both there. I think it's the safer pick. I don't know if you agree with that. Tyson's coming off what, ACL, right? It's ACL, not Achilles.
It's in 22, he had a torn ACL, MCL, PCL. In 24, he had his breakout year. And then in 25, he had some hamstring problems, which could potentially be connected to the knee, although we don't know. That's going to be up for the teams to figure out.
Yeah, so if you can't stay healthy in college ball, you ain't going to stay healthy. Sonny Styles has been a dog. He's been a dog since the early days at Bama, right? So I'd be leaning Sonny
Downs,
Styles.
You mean Downs at Bama? Yeah,
Downs at Bama. I mean, yeah, Downs. So I'd be going with Downs.
And think about it: if you draft Downs, then you could get your Ohio State teammates. You could get the two leaders of the defense, get Styles and Downs, and pair them up in the NFL.
Yeah, no, that's a good mix. I think Tyson's going to go a little later in the first round. What's his draft position right now? Over 8.5, under 8.5, over 8.5 plus 150. I'd be going with the over 8.5. I think that's a good line right there.
Solid value. Nobody has had a better final week leading up to the draft than Jordyn Tyson, though.
Yeah, and then if guys get trendy late, that's usually not a good sign. But still, for plus 150 right now, I don't know. I think there's better players on the board, obviously. Is there better players at the safety position? Maybe you can make the argument with Caleb Downs. With that being said, I think a lot has to go. There's a lot of other players who I'd rather take a chance on before I go with a guy like Jordyn Tyson.
Yeah, agreed. Whatever thoughts you guys have, make sure you throw them in the comment section below. Tanner and I will obviously be reacting to the NFL draft when the time comes. So make sure you guys don't miss out on that. Subscribe, hit the like button if you enjoyed. That's the number one way you can support us. All that good stuff. We appreciate you guys.
Yeah, we appreciate you guys. Appreciate you joining another episode of Ride the Line. And we will be back next time for another episode.